enlist in Starfleet.
Enlist? You guys must be way down on your recruiting quota for the month.
Well, if you're half the man your father was, Jim, Starfleet could use you.
And I think for Kirk, it really is a young man dealing with the death of his father, and I think that was clearly the most emotionally affecting experience of his life. That, I mean, clearly he was only around for when he was an infant, but has created a broken home and a situation where clearly growing up without a model, a male model, I think has been profoundly difficult for this.
Male model?
Male model.
You didn't grow up with the male model around the house?
Michael Vanderloo, what is that guy's name? Anyway, but no, we're being serious because we're talking. Anyway, but how dare you?
Sorry.
Effing roll
you meant
there.
to say male role model.
Thank you, role model. Thank you, Zach. God.
Doctor, damn it, I am a doctor.
You need to get back to your seat.
I had one in the bathroom with no windows.
I
suffer from aviophobia. It means fear of dying.
Sir,
is
for your own
something that
safety, sit down, or else I'll make you sit down.
Fine.
Thank you.
This is Captain Pegg. We've been cleared for takeoff.
I may throw up on you.
I think these things are pretty safe.
Don't pander to me, kid. One tiny crack in the hull and our blood boils in 13 seconds.
With the point we discover Leonard McCoy in this movie, he has really come to the end of a road. he has been burnt by life and had sort of various tragedies occur, and Starfleet is literally the last place left that he has to go. I think when they first met that McCoy senses that Jim is kind of a kindred spirit, that he also is, you know, a little bit outside the box and a bit of a rebel, and pretty quickly they develop a solid friendship.
Who are you?
I'm with
He's
him.
with me.
We are traveling at warp speed. How did you manage to beam aboard this ship?
Hey, you're the genius. You figure it out.
As acting captain of this vessel, I order you to answer the question.
Well, I'm not telling.
Well, for Spock, you know, it's shown early in the film and clearly that he always has struggled with the duality between his Vulcan half and his human half, which is something that anybody that knows the character knows is a part of his journey. But in this film in particular, it carries into his young adulthood, and he's defining the path that he wants to walk in his life, and he's really split between two options. And I think that that duality and the conflict that bubbles up inside as a result of that duality is something that the character in this iteration of the franchise is really working to gain control over.
So what kind of combat training do you have?
Fencing. For me, I think Sulu has a deep desire to serve, you know, and that kind of, there's an old-fashioned kind of sense of community and optimism that is common to, interestingly enough, of course, Roddenberry, but also George Takei. He is that kind of old-fashioned man, and it's what I admire about him, and that I think that sentiment is what is part of what makes has kept Star Trek popular over decades.
So, you're a cadet, you're studying, what's your focus?
Xenolinguistics. You have no idea what that means.
Study of alien languages, morphology, phonology, syntax. Means you've got a talented tongue.
I almost feel like, you know, she definitely represents the complete opposite of Kirk in a way that Kirk is meant to be in it, but he hasn't really owned up or consciously acknowledged his purpose because of all the misfortunes he's had in his life. Whereas Uhura, I kind of would picture her like 5 years old, like looking in the mirror going, I'm gonna be on that Enterprise. I'm gonna be on that Enterprise. Because she's such a driven person. It was so much on the script, and so much of Nichelle's version of Uhura too in the original series. Uhura was just such a stoic, determined, confident, solid woman. You would have to be sort of like a book geek and a very, like the apt pupil kind of person in order for you to get from that to where she ended up in the series.
Well, I think as sort of a navigator, and as any kind of, I mean, as a majority of, I think, Russian people, there's an interest in mathematics, and I think sort of a natural path to go down. But it's similar to what John said. It's kind of fascinating that in the middle of the Cold War, there comes a sort of a Russian character that's actually a positive character. You know, I mean, examples like Red Dawn come to mind, you know, of the opposite. It's really to Gene Roddenberry's credit, to his vision of what the universe can be, that I think he placed this Russian character there, and I think it gives Russian people and Americans and the world a view of Russian people that you don't really see often, and it's an optimistic view of the nation.